So hello everyone, in this video we will see working with the Google Colab. So before going to work with the Google Colab, we will see some basic points so that it will give us better sense of appreciation what tool we are using. So first we will see what is Google Colab. Then second we will see why do we need to use the Google Colab. And then finally we will just go ahead and use the Google Colab and we will see how we can write our Python code in the Google Colab notebook. So first let us see what is Google Colab. So Google Colab is a cloud-based platform. So first point is Google Colab is a cloud-based platform. So what is the meaning of cloud-based platform? Cloud-based platform simply means that you can run it from anywhere. You can use it from anywhere on this planet. Just you need the internet connectivity, right? And the most interesting point is you can use either PC or you can use even mobile phone to use this tool. So it is not mandatory that you should run in PC only. You can use mobile phone also, but if you use PC it will be more comfortable to write the code. And the very important point is it is developed by the Google. So it is developed by the Google and it is the free open source. It is open source tool and it is developed by Google for research and development purpose. For research and development, Google has made it free for everyone. Then the second point we will see why do we need to use the Google Colab. So we will see why do we need to use the Google Colab. The first thing very important point for me at least. So no setup is required for this one. So no setup is required for this one since this is a cloud based tool. You don't need to install anything for using the Google Colab notebook. Second thing, this is also a very important thing. So this is also a very important thing. You can just share. So let me write that can be. It can be shared and edited by. So you can just share the Google notebook. Suppose you are working on some group project and you can just share it with your group member. So all the group member can simultaneously edit or update the notebook. So let me write the point. So it can be shared and edited by a group of team members, right? And it can be done simultaneously. Group of team members. You can add simultaneously also. So just you can do in Google Doc same thing in the same way it can be edited in the Google Colab also. So a group of member can simultaneously at the same time can edit the notebook and use the notebook or can update the notebook. If one person updates it will be seen in the main notebook also. So please excuse me for my spelling if it is wrong. And third point, it is very important point. So we get free access to RAM and GPU, TPU and memory. So you can say memory means it will be ROM. So there is a certain limit. Up to the certain limit we will get free usage. So Google don't charge anything from us. So we will get free access of RAM. I think 12 GB of RAM is free for everyone. Then we will get free access of GPU also. So GPU and TPU are generally used for deep learning, complex deep learning algorithms. It is not required for executing simple Python programs. And then we will get ROM also. I think 28 GB of ROM. So we get from the Google Colab and it is free of cost. Then we will go to the next point and this is our last point, how we can use the Google Colab platform. So for using Google Colab platform, so let us just open our Google Chrome browser. So let us see how we can use Google Colab to write our Python code. So for using Google Colab, you just need to write Google Colab in the Google browser and you just need to press enter. So just wait. It depends on your internet. If your internet is fast, it will open fast. Otherwise, it might take some time. So let us just wait till it opens. So yeah. So you can see the first result. You just have to click on the first link. You just have to click on the first link. It will open. So you can see this website collab.research.google.com, this website. Either you can directly type this website also, this website address also, or you can just enter Google Colab and you can just press enter. So my internet is slow, so it is taking time to get loaded. Now you can see. So after clicking on the first link, it will open like this. So let me zoom out. Yeah, so now you can see. So you will get window like this. So here, if you have edited, if you have written some notebook, so you will be able to get something like this. So past notebook, you will be able to see your past notebooks. So if you have not edited any notebook, then you won't be able to see anything. So you can just click here. You can just come here and click on the new notebook. And after clicking on new notebook, it will open the Jupyter notebook. So whatever Jupyter notebook is there that we are using in the offline, same notebook will get open. Slide changes will be there. It is not exactly the same. Slide changes are there, but we can do each and every task what we are used to do using the Jupyter notebook, offline Jupyter notebook. So now, so this is our tool. This is our Google Colab notebook. So here you can see. So we will go step by step. First we will see how we can edit the file name. So this is our file name. It is coming untitled 2.ipynb. So IPYNB means IPython, PY means Python, NB means notebook. So IPython notebook. So let us just edit the name. So you can give anything you want. Let me give demo.ipnb. Now you can see there are two things. You can write either code or you can write text. You can write text also. So this is the most important thing. I like to use the notebook. So there are other tools also. That is why I like to use the Jupyter notebook, because you can write everything in the same tool. So you can write code also, you can write text also, you can import image also. Everything will be in the same tool. So this is the very powerful tool. So let us see how we can write the code. For writing the code, you just have to click on text, and after clicking on text, so whatever you want you can write. So let me write anything. So let me write installation here. So that first we will see how we can install the packages, how we can install the Python packages. So after writing installation, you just have to print shift enter. So this is our text box, and if you want to delete any block, if you want to delete any block, just click here, and this is the delete option. You can just click here, it will be deleted. So let me click here, this will be also deleted. After that we need to write the code, so just click on the code. And so this is simple text. If you want to give like heading, let me just edit it. So for editing, you need to double click your mouse. So if you want to give heading, so you can give hash, it will come in heading. So three hash, so single hash is largest. If you give single hash, it will be the largest. So this is the largest font size we have. So if you give one more hash, so it is heading in HTML h1 h2 h3. It is similar to that. If you know HTML, you will be able to map it. If you give 3 hash, it will be h3 heading in HTML. So just press enter. Now we have given installation, we have given our text box. This is our text box, this is not the code. Then we will see how we can install any Python package. So for installing any Python package, so this is factorial sign in mathematics, right? So this is factorial sign. So you have to give this sign, factorial sign, and this is exclamation mark also. So you just have to write this command pip install. So whatever library you want to install, you can just write pip install a library name. Suppose I want to install pandas library. Pandas is a Python package. So we will see this later in our course. So pandas is a Python package. So if you want to install pandas package, we just have to write this exclamation mark and then pip install pandas, and after that we just have to press shift enter. So after pressing shift enter, it will take some time to install the library. Let us just wait. Okay, I am not initialized it here. Yeah, so now it is working. So as you can see, it is telling requirement already satisfied because I have it is already installed in this notebook. So most of the common Python packages will be already installed in the notebook by default. We don't need to install most of the things. If you are using some things, some package which is not common, then you need to install it. So fine. So now we will see how we can write the code. For writing the code, it is very simple. Just you have to click on, if code section is not there, if you just have to click the code section, and after clicking the code section you can write the normal code. So let me write printf inside print. I will just write hello world. So print is similar to printf in C. Whatever we used to write printf in Python, we just need to write print. So as you can see here, it is printing hello world. So output also, so in this block, in one block you can write one complete program and it will be executed and you will get output for that one. So this is the other advantage of Jupyter notebook. So you can write many programs in the same notebook. Then so let us see some other programs also. So suppose I want to print the numbers from 1 to 10. So let me just print it. So I will write I in range, and for printing 1 to 10 I just have to give 1 to 11, and I will just print I, and I will print in the same line. So just hit shift and enter, it will be printed. Number from 1 to 10 is printed. So this is how you just have to click on the code button, and you can just write your complete program in one block, and after that you just press enter. After writing the complete program, it will be executed and you will be able to see the output here. Here this is the output for this program. So consider this as one program. You can write one complete program in one block, in one code block, and you can write text if you want to give any heading. So you can write in text box. Now now we will see how we can. So before starting the execution, so you have to click this button, you have to click this drop down button, and you have to click on connect to hosted runtime, right? So there are two options: connect to hosted runtime, connect to local runtime. You have to click on connect to hosted runtime, and it will get connected. It will take some time and you will be allocated some memory. Let us see that how much memory we have been allocated. So just click here. If you hover your mouse over here, so as you can see so we are getting 12.7 GB of RAM, and then we are getting 107 GB of disk. So this we are getting this much memory we are getting free. Google is not charging anything from us. So this is the advantage of using Google Colab. Now if you want to download this thing, if you want to, suppose you have written many programs, you have completed your notebook, suppose 10 questions are there, you have written the program for all the questions and you want to download it. How we can download? So just click on the file, this file button, this file tab, and you can save also, and then you can download also. So just click on download, it will be downloaded. As you can see, this will be downloaded, and this you can share for with anyone. He'll be able to see everything. You have to just open this one, and the person will be able to see everything what you have written. Next thing with, and so this is for offline viewing. This anyone can view offline. Suppose you want to say share this notebook to anyone so that he can make changes with you. Suppose there is a project, and in that project 5 members are working. So you want to share this notebook to all the 5 members so that all the members can see the changes and make the updates simultaneously. So for that you just need to click here, and you just need to copy this link. Just copy this link, and we will open in another window and we will see what we are getting. So I have opened the incognito tab. I will just go here and paste this link. Just click enter. Let us see what is happening over here. So I have just copied that link and pasted in other window. So it is similar to, you will just send this link to other person and he will open in his computer. It is similar to the same thing. So let us just wait till it opens, and then we will see what we are getting here. Whether we are getting same thing what we have written in the other window. So it is taking time to upload. So of course you need to sign to your account, the other person need to sign to his account. It is not required that you have to sign, the owner only has to sign in. So any other person can sign in to his Google account or her Google account, and he or she will be able to view. So let me sign in. So I will just sign in. You can just sign in to any Google account whatever you have, and let me select it. So let us see whether we are getting our notebook completely or not. So whatever things we have done, we are getting it completely or not. So we'll just open with Google Collaboratory. So you can see you are getting some options. So you can open with text editor, you can download, you can connect more app, or either you can open with Google Collaboratory. We will just open with Google Collaboratory. So it is getting open. So as you can see, the file name which we have given, that is coming over here. So any person with this link can open into his or her in his or her PC or computer or laptop, whatever he will be having. So these were the things we have done, right? So we have just entered this command, and for installation command we have written one text box, that is installation, and we have just entered this command, and then we have just printed hello world, and then we have written one more function to print the numbers from 1 to 10. So everything is coming. So suppose you have edited your notebook, and after that, after some days, like after 15 days or 20 days, you want to see your previous file. So how you can see that? For that, you just have to open your Google Drive. So this is your Google Drive. You have to open the same account. So the account which you have logged in, same account you have to open, and after that you need to search. So you will be able to see this thing. You will be able to see this folder, that is Collab Notebooks. So in this folder, whatever notebook you will write and whatever notebook you will edit, all the notebook will be saved in this folder. So you just have to click and open this Collab Notebooks, and after that you can see so how many folders. So you can see the files of this 2019 also. So that is also getting saved here. So everything will get saved here, and everything will be on the drive. Nothing will be there in on your personal computer or your local machine. If you want to download, you can just download it. So for downloading anything, we will see first. Let us see where is our file. So this is our file, right? So we have created demo.ipynb, and it is created today only, right? So if you want to download it, you can just click, you can just do right click, and you can just download it if you want to download. Or we have seen some other option also, so that we can download from there also. We can download from our notebook also, like here also. Let me just open it. So you can click on file, and you can do download ipynb. And one more point I just wanted to say. So there is other option also to run our program, to run our code. Instead of pressing shift enter, so first thing is you can just press shift enter to run the to run the code whatever you have written in one block. The other way is you can just click on this button. So as you can see, this play button is there like YouTube. You can just click on this play button. Using this button also, you will be able to run the program whatever is mentioned in that code block. So this is about the simple introduction to the IPython notebook. More details we will see when we will go through the course.